Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Shananarambles from A-Game and Shananigans.
We don't say good evening.
Good evening,
we don't even say good evening.
I'm saying good evening. How are you today?
I'm alright.
You alright? You here to have fun?
I'm always ready to have fun.
You here to talk?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody.
I'm also drinking
water.
Stay hydrated.
Alright, everybody. Welcome back to another Shananarambles. Today we're going to test Shananigans Superman knowledge.
It's not good.
This is gonna be
Why
fun,
Superman?
Man. Because
the
new, what is it called? Lois and Clark, or what's it called?
Lois and Clark was in the late 1990s.
I loved it. What's this one called? Clark and Lois?
And that was the New Adventures.
Is this one called Clark and Lois?
This is Superman and Lois. This
Superman
was my
and
boy
Lois
Tyler.
Came out ages ago.
This is my boy Tyler.
And
I can't pronounce his last name.
We saw the first episode, and it got us talking, and we were like, and I said to myself, I'm gonna look up Superman stuff. See if there's anything cool out there, and I found something.
Bit late to the party. It's been out for a while now.
I don't care. Shush you. So I've got an article that I'm going to read from.
Mm-hmm.
It's on CBR.com, which I don't know what that is. It's Superman.
Comic book resource.
There we go.
Says, I think.
Superman. 10 abilities that are way too OP, and 10 fans didn't even know he had.
Question.
And that is the side we're going to focus on. Yes.
Question. What's OP stand for?
Overpowered.
Oh, okay. Just in case there was people at home who didn't know. Okay, now what is it again? I wasn't listening.
I think you thought I didn't know. So there are two parts to this article. We're only going to focus on one. Okay. Superman. 10 abilities fans didn't even know he had.
Okay, alright.
So we're going to test whether or not Shananigans knows these abilities.
My Superman knowledge is as extensive as Smallville.
Yay!
I loved the Smallville TV series, so I know that one quite well.
I've seen what I think is most of the, as you just said, the Adventures of Superman and Lois from way back when. I loved that show.
Yeah, the last thing I can remember, and I think it got cancelled, was he Kryptonians showed up on Earth, and he steps through these doors, and he's wearing the black Superman outfit.
Oh.
And that was the end of the episode, and then I don't think it ever happened again.
Now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen all of it, because there's one episode there's a couple episodes I clearly remember, and in one of them, Lois is talking about his glasses that are his, what's it called? Secret identity with the glasses.
The glasses, highly secret.
And she says something like, these fooled her for 4 years, and I'm like, I only remember probably a handful of episodes. I probably only watched for a couple of seasons, so I probably haven't seen it all, but I really did enjoy it, and I liked the characters.
I think it ran for 5 seasons now that you've said that.
I liked all of the actors that did the main characters. I liked Ma and Pa Kent, I liked Clark, Lois, Perry White, and Jimmy Olsen. I liked all of those actors. They were really good. But back to the article. Alright, you.
The article.
Back to the article. Is your brain warmed up? Are you ready to go?
Get back to the article.
Alright. Superman was one of the world's first superheroes. He has paved the way for everyone that followed. Plenty of characters have powers that, at one point or another, have been a part of Superman's arsenal. At the time of his debut, it was impossible for Superman to be overpowered because no one had ever seen a superhero before. The only limits to his powers were the imaginations of the writers that brought him to life. At the time, these writers made him superhuman, but he was still well within the realm of realism. Readers were satisfied because the character was still incredibly powerful for his time. Sure, he could jump over buildings and stop bullets, but his powers were believable. Oh, how times have changed. Over the years, Superman's power set has evolved to one that is sometimes ludicrous. No one can stop him unless they have kryptonite, that is. Few characters are anywhere near his level of sheer power. Kal-El can push planets and fly into the center of the Earth. The Man of Steel can time travel and stop bullets fired at point-blank range, and he's just shy of being as fast as the Flash. In many ways, Kal-El is just too powerful. But for as many notable OP abilities that the last son of Krypton has, he also has many that are completely unknown to readers. From the super kiss to telepathy, Clark Kent has some strange skills. It's an ability, apparently. We'll discuss that later.
Yep.
Without further ado, here are 10 of Superman's overpowered abilities, which again we're not going to go over, and 10 powers readers didn't even know he had. Now I think you're going to like this first unknown. Electric powers.
I do like my electric powers.
There was a time in the 90s when rather than being powered by the sun, Superman was powered by electricity and other forms of energy.
Red suit Superman.
Okay. I know that, but that's from it. At the time, writers wanted to breathe fresh air into the Man of Steel, so they replaced the classic trunks with a bright blue containment suit.
Yep.
Hal's typical power set was also substituted for a new one.
Yep.
Superman was suddenly intangible. Rather than bullets bouncing off him, they went right through him.
And
Clark could now generate electromagnetic fields and...
Electromagnetic.
I
shouldn't pick on you. I can't read.
No, they've got... I'm reading this article that has letters that are out of line, so I'm having, like... This sentence actually reads, Clark could generate electromagnetic fields and sue those weapons and tools.
Good old CPR.
He could even teleport. Electric Blue Superman is a controversial topic, but he had some fascinating powers. I thought you'd really like this one, so you do know it.
Yeah, this was... I'm not a hundo, and I'm probably going to get it wrong. It was around...
It was in the 90s.
It was around... Yes, it was around the 90s. I think it was just before or during when Grant Morrison took over the JLA. And, not took over, reinvigorated, started writing for it, whatever you want to put it. And they split Superman up, and he wore a red and white costume, and he wore a red and blue costume. Sorry, a red and white and a blue and white costume. And like he didn't have any skin tones, he was just white with blue accentuating or red accentuating, depending on the power he was using, I think.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. Again, I don't know much about Superman, but I do. That one.
So you remember this? Did you like it?
I've never read a story about it.
Okay.
Actually, I lie. I think I've read one, and I can't remember it.
If you weren't aware of it, and I just presented the idea to you, would you prefer that? Would you like an electricity-powered Superman?
No, because I feel bad. I feel like I should say yes, but it's a bit of a double-edged sword when it comes to comics. You've got the old guard, the old crowd who are like, don't change our superheroes, they're perfect. And then you got the new crowd who are like, why did you change our superheroes? Put them back.
It's kind of the same crowd.
Sorry, you know what Alright, I screwed that one up. You know what I mean? We've got a side going, oh, they're all boring, change them. Okay? Reinvigorate. Oh, that's stupid. Why'd you reinvigorate? Yeah. Just put it back the way it was. You see that multiple times. Yeah, but I like Superman. I was going to ask you this. This is a question for you.
Okay.
I like Superman for who he is, but I like Superman... I feel Superman works better in groups, not on solo adventures. And... What am I trying to say here?
I'm not hearing a question.
Shut up. I'm thinking. I like the character. I like Clark and I like Kal-El. Okay, I like the humanity behind Superman.
You like him being a part of a team and being like the muscle. Rather than him being the smart.
Yeah, when you've got the character, I prefer Clark or Kal-El, although I feel like everything's been done. But that argument can be made for every character. But as a superhuman, as a superhero, I feel Superman works better in teams, or more recently, he's been teaming up with his son, John. That works. I'm fine with that sort of stuff. Because you've got a religious-like figure, which, if you've seen Zack Snyder films, or you've read any Superman comics, they do tend to hold him in that biblical sense that he is a god.
Amen.
Yeah, like, how do you make stories interesting around that? One of my favourite Superman stories, I read it recently, I can't talk today, was...
Drink some more water.
was Luther. This book was a story about... it was about Superman from Lex's point of view.
Yeah. But
because it's from Lex's point of view, he's not the bad guy.
Oh, Lex isn't the bad guy.
No.
Oh, yeah.
And I love Lex Luthor. He's one of my favourite villains.
Weirdo.
But yeah, it was a really good read. Very quick, very easy to read. But it was such a... it was an interesting take on it. I know it's quite old now, but I thought that was good. And Superman Earth 1. Those were good. Anyway, I can't remember what we're talking about. Moving on.
Alright, next unknown power.
Shananarambles!
Electromagnetic vision. Superman's vision allows him to see on practically every spectrum, and Clark Kent's supervision extends to the electromagnetic spectrum. This power doesn't have a long shelf life. It seems likely that writers just gave it to Superman for a specific story, which is true of plenty of other superpowers. With electromagnetic vision, Superman has the useful ability to see radio waves, which allows him to trace broadcast signals. With the evolution of technology, radio waves have become fairly antiquated, especially among comic book villains. It's no wonder why this power has become obsolete, which is why most Superman fans don't know about it. Did you know about this one?
I feel like I did, but I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you why. I got no idea. It makes sense for the time, I guess, but...
Well, I mean, I know that he has X-ray vision, and he has heat vision. But I would never have made the leap that he could see across all spectrums.
Yeah. For some reason, Final Crisis jumping out at me. Again, written by Grant Morrison. In saying that, I'm not a big fan of Grant Morrison's writing. It's very convoluted. And it annoys me. When he writes a good story, it's great. It's one of the best things you'll ever read. But when they sort of just let him go, it's batshit on the wall crazy. And you'll come across those people, or in comments or whatever, they'll be like, oh, well, if you didn't understand it, you just weren't smart enough. It's like, shut up. Dude, seriously, shut up. It's got nothing to do with that.
Shush, enough with you.
Yeah. For some reason, Final Crisis jumping out to me, I think in that he used some sort of vision like that. I can't remember.
I mean, I can think of other instances where I've watched superhero movies or action movies or whatever, where you can see like broadcast signals being shown from one point on Earth up into the, not the sky obviously, up into the stratosphere, okay. Looking down on Earth from out in the universe, that sort of thing, where you can see broadcast signals. But I don't know, I didn't really have any in for that. I was just saying I've seen that done in movies. Alright, moving on.
Shananarambles.
Let's get to some that hopefully we know and we can discuss. Alright. Telepathy and hypnosis.
Telepathy, maybe. Hypnosis, no. That's what?
Superman is one of the most powerful characters in comics, so giving him telepathy, hypnosis, and mind control is just unfair. But writers have done it before. Superman's genius-level intellect and Kryptonian brain allows him to access these mind-based powers. So at some points in his history, Clark Kent has been able to read minds and telepathically communicate. Kent has used his power for both good, hypnotically convincing criminals to turn themselves in, and implanting thoughts into enemies' minds, as well as less admirable reasons like mind-swiping Lois Lane. Thankfully, contemporary writers have realised that giving Superman the ability to read minds makes him way too overpowered, so like Superman's other lesser-known abilities, it has been phased out of usage.
Yeah, good. No, I don't like that. I didn't like that sentence either. What was the sentence about his genius-level intelligence?
Genius-level intellect. It's apparently one of his abilities.
Nah. Sorry.
It's on this list, I hate to tell you. It's on his list. It's on the list of OP'd abilities, which we weren't reading. There you go, I'll find it for you.
No, I've never seen Superman as an intellectual. I guess, yes, I have seen him as an intellectual.
Here you go, I'll read the entry for you. Superman would be a boring character if he was a dumb brute, but giving the Man of Steel genius-level intellect is gratuitous. Like Barry Allen, Clark Kent can read at super speed, which makes him one of the smartest people in the DC universe. Writers also gave Kent an eidetic memory, which makes his brain just as powerful as his muscles. Superman hasn't always been a genius. Sometimes he's just good old Clark Kent. In some continuities, though, Kent is amazingly intellectual. He's invented the material for his supersuit and even attempted to cure cancer. But at any given moment, Big Blue's mind can be ranked among the most elite in the DCU, according to this article.
I guess I'd like to change my answer. I don't see him as a genius. Yes, I agree with the super speed and the eidetic Eidetic memory. I can't say.
Eidetic.
Eidetic. I agree with that stuff. It makes sense for the character, but as a genius, I don't see him as a genius. I see him as smart and intelligent, but not a genius. I feel like Batman, Bruce Wayne, is a genius. Luthor is a genius. Eobard Thawne is a genius. Ted Kord, Michael Holt, they're all geniuses. I wouldn't put Superman, Clark, Kal-El, whoever up with them. I know in All-Star Superman, like you were saying how he made his own suit and he was trying to cure cancer. Grant Morrison again, All-Star Superman. Yeah, he was doing that stuff. And unpopular opinion, wasn't that crazy about All-Star Superman. Didn't think that much of it.
Well, according to this other article that I am also reading from, which it's
wait, we're doing two?
Yes, I've got a multitude of lists here to use against you.
How long am I here for?
Weirdest Superman powers from Games Radar. According to this, it also says that if you skip forward a couple of decades to the television series Lois and Clark, that show reveals that all Kryptonians can communicate with each other wordlessly, which is why they had telepathy. Which is why Superman has telepathy.
No. Sorry.
You can say no.
I deny its existence.
That's the one reason why I like this this article I'm also reading from on Games Radar, because it has specific examples. Like, for example, for the telepathy, it specifically says that in 1947's Superman episode 45, the Man of Steel uses a heretofore unexplained ability to read his enemy's mind and implant thoughts to release Superman from the restraints the enemy just placed on him.
I have a problem with that. Does it say episode 45? Or did you say episode 45?
No, it has a hashtag of 45. I'm assuming that means
issue.
Comic book. Oh, issue 45. You know what I meant. Release.
Sorry, you got to that point and I stopped listening. I'm just like, it's not episode, it's issue.
I meant to say issue.
What the hell is she going on about?
Whatever.
Just smile and nod. Did she say this?
Shut up. You knew what I meant. Your brain could have kept working.
No, it stopped.
Rude.
It's like a cartoon. It just went... Heels dug into the ground and everything.
Alright. Telekinesis or telekinetic vision.
How the hell can you have telekinetic vision?
I don't know. This article on CBR says telekinetic vision, but the article on Games Radar says telekinesis. I'm lumping them together.
Okay, telekinesis.
They're kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but telekinetic vision. Okay,
right.
Go on.
In the past, Superman's mind powers granted him more abilities than simple mind reading or hypnosis. Kal-El used to have the ability to move objects with his mind too. Ken's telekinesis is one of the most obscure powers the character has, though it has made its way to the big screen. In Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, the Great Wall of China is destroyed. Superman, rather than rebuilding the historic site with his hands, uses his mind. Kal-El mentally moved the rubble with his mind to reassemble the wall. The skill sure would come in handy for cleaning up the ruins of battle scenes. Alas, Superman's telekinetic vision is another lost power. But on Games Radar, they have also said that in John Byrne's 1980s run on Superman, the writer-artist explained that Superman's ability to fly was a form of self-telekinesis, in which an invisible field envelops him and anything he touches to float by the force of his mind.
Okay. One, if he has that power, why the hell didn't he use it in Man of Steel? Alright, seriously. You could have stopped Zod, you could have saved Metropolis, you could have saved all the people that died.
Well, he said that. He said,
Snyder, what the hell?
Byrne went further to explain that this telekinesis also supplements his invulnerability, the field around him.
Okay, yeah, he lost me. I agreed with
the flying?
With the flying part, I'm like, okay, alright, I'll buy into that.
Makes a kind of sense?
It makes a kind of sense. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I will accept it. The invulnerability, though?
No, he didn't say it is his invulnerability. It just helps.
No, I'm sorry. I like the yellow sun radiation, making him a big buff boy. That was his original name.
Never heard of him using this telekinesis.
No.
No?
No, even the Quest for Peace, I was thinking as you were saying, I'm like, I do not remember that bit.
Oh, well,
Clearly I've blacked that
4.
out.
It was Superman 4 and it didn't even have a release
Footage
year,
not
so I
found.
have
But yeah,
no idea when it came out.
fun fact,
Found.
Superman originally was meant to be called the Big Buff Boy.
He was not.
He was. That was, imagine the Superman font, but it said Big Buff Boy.
You're making it up. You're making it up. Alright. I don't think I should say anything while you're drinking, just in case you spit it everywhere.
Do a spit
in
take.
horror. Alright. Shape-shifting.
Nope.
Like
No.
many of Superman's powers, his long-lost ability to shapeshift is a skill that, for many characters, is the core of their skill set. For Clark Kent, though, it was just another tool in an increasingly crowded toolbox. Stop shaking your head and listen. At the time, Clark Kent could change his face and body at will to alter his appearance. The most notable examples of shapeshifting came in Superman issue 44 and 45. First, Kent molded his face to change his looks, then one-upped himself by changing his whole body. Superman's shapeshifting has fallen by the wayside, but once upon a time he could alter his appearance with the best of them.
The best of them being John Jones and Plastic Man.
I suppose so.
John Johns, Martian Manhunter, whatever you want to call him.
You're very resistant to this idea, aren't you?
As soon as I heard it, I'm like, nope.
Well, to add to your resistance, Games Radar has a couple of lovely questions. 1. How can a hero with nearly impervious skin stretch and contort it to such a degree? And 2. Why doesn't Superman use this ability to concoct a better secret identity for himself?
Well, there you go.
Rather than just wearing a pair of glasses.
First one, I'm going to say Kryptonian physiology,
Physiology?
DNA, and yellow sun radiation. The second one, I completely agree. I'm like, dude, if that was the case...
if I was playing devil's advocate, I could say maybe it's not something he can maintain for long, which is why he doesn't use it as the secret identity. I know that in issue 45 they were talking about he did this apparently to mimic a pale yellow-skinned alien with pointy ears and no hair. So he did it to a very, very, very extreme degree, but I'm assuming maybe he can only hold it for so long.
Look, if you pointed out to me that, oh look, see that guy? That's Superman. And I went, really? And you're like, no, it was actually Plastic Man pretending to be Superman. I'd believe that. If you told me that was Superman, and I'm like, really? And you're like, yep. I'd go, no. I reject your reality.
I'm getting the impression that
I'll see myself
you
out, thank you.
Shenanigans, a lot of abilities you won't let them stray from where they came from. It's like that ability is what was he called? Mimic Man?
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man, there you go.
Mimic Man. God.
That power is Plastic Man's and Superman can't have it. That's what I'm
No,
hearing.
it's not that he can't have it. It's
you don't associate it with him.
It's exactly what the article said a couple seconds ago, whatever it was. The overcrowded toolbox.
Yeah.
It's Superman has too many powers, and he is, for all intensive purposes, unkillable. And when you have killed him, he comes back from a Kryptonian coma. Okay?
I'm getting the impression that for some of these powers, they were... Well, I mean, one of them specifically said it was used just for that one episode, and it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm getting the impression that a lot of these powers are sort of specific to the era when they're talking about. So a lot of these powers are coming specifically from the 1980s or the 1990s. Issues 44, 45 feature quite a lot in the Games Radar examples. So I'm getting the impression that while for people back then they were quite common, and for us now they're not, that they were just in that one era.
When you've got characters that have been around for...
As long as these ones have.
80 plus years, as long as some of them have, you are going to run out of things to do.
Yeah, I get that.
And again, it goes back to that argument of, oh, this is boring, change it, make him more interesting, make it new. Oh my God, what did you do? Put it back.
And they might have done that in the 80s and 90s.
Well, Superman...
in the 2000s, just gone,
Superman is a perfect example. Okay, so we go back before the New 52, before the Flashpoint event. I know you don't read comics much, but...
I sort of know. I know this just because it's been current the last couple of years.
Okay, when you go back before that point, you have the Superman that everyone envisions.
Yep.
You have the characteristics, you have the personality that the people go, that's Superman.
Yeah.
New 52 kicks in. They de-age him. They roll him back to, I think, his mid-20s. And they really focus in on, he's an alien. So he doesn't care about anyone. He doesn't have any connections to humanity so much. He doesn't care. He's cocky. He's arrogant.
I've never seen Superman be cocky or arrogant. Not, like, in the moment in a fight. Yeah, but not in his personality, no. Okay.
No, so it was interesting.
Yeah.
But the people are going, that's not Superman. What did you do to Superman? Fix him. And they did. They eventually killed off that new Superman, brought in the Superman I mentioned before, Flashpoint, had him there, and then you had the opposite crowd. Oh, why'd you bring him back? The other one was just getting good. Oh. So DC went, okay, all right, we've got an answer for this. We bring the new one back and we fuse the two Superman together. So now they're one and the same. You have the old one and the young one existing at the exact same time. That's stupid. Give us something new. Oh, God. All right, fine. We'll take Superman's son, which everyone's loved, and we'll age him up. Why? Why would you do that? Well, Bendis.
Can't please.
We did that.
Can't please everybody.
No, we aged John up to 16 because of Bendis. Why? Because he wanted it. Yeah, that's a sore point for me. I don't like that. Anyway, go on.
Look, I would have loved if
I don't want to get started.
I would have loved if these articles had like even like more information about when these powers were. Like if for example, and I'm probably going to be way off. If, for example, Superman's been around since 1950, for example, I would like to know the exact years that these powers were present.
Implemented.
Then when they came in and when you stopped hearing about them, that sort of thing. Because then you could sort of see whether they were just one-hit wonders, whether they were there for just one particular storyline or release, or whether they were something that sort of fluctuated in and out. And then now, 20 plus years later, they've disappeared completely.
Okay.
That would be nice, but that is a lot of work for whoever writes these articles, and I don't expect that of them.
I do.
All right.
Do your homework.
Back to the vision. Telescopic, microscopic vision.
I know that one.
Okay. Superman's eyes can do so much more than see through objects and fire beams of heat. Kal-El's vision grants him a plethora of abilities. Clark Kent can see things at the smallest levels, and he can also see planets and space with his naked eye. That would hurt. Not only can Kent see the planets, he even sees what's happening on them. With telescopic vision, Superman can keep an eye on galactic happenings without using any of the technology Batman and the other Justice League members have to. Superman's microscopic vision has been all but forgotten, but he used it fairly often in the comics in the 70s. With this power, Kent could see and analyze molecules and fingerprints, which augmented his abilities as a detective.
I knew of it. I like the idea of it to a certain extent.
You don't like the fact that he can just look up and go, oh look, there's plants growing on Mars.
Yeah, I don't like that idea. I'm like, dude, I'm okay with him being able to look up and sort of gaze out.
That'd look really strange if you were like invisible and hovering above him and looking at his pupils. You'd imagine they'd go like in and out the way a lens would. That'd be freaky. He'd be like looking all the way out to like Jupiter, and he'd look high. There'd be no colours left in his eye. It'd be just black. And then slowly this little light appears in the centre, and oh my god, he's gonna fire!
Yeah, I agree to it to a certain extent. It's the same with the hearing, super hearing, super sight. I feel like there should be a limiter on them, but what do you limit it to? I don't know. How do you do that? I don't know. I don't have the answers.
You do.
That's for other people. That's for other people.
You're the expert here.
I remember watching Justice League Unlimited. It's one of my favourite cartoons ever. There is a character called Amazo.
Yes, I've heard that name.
Okay, and Amazo is a robot.
A robot?
A robot that you fight him, and he basically goes, cool, I can replicate that. Replicate your fighting style, replicate your powers, everything. So there is a bit where he's hunting Lex Luthor. And the Atom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little guy.
Just making sure you knew. The Atom is like, okay, panic. We're back against the wall. We've got no option.
The Atom doesn't have powers, though. It's the suit.
It's the suit, yes.
Okay, good. There we go.
He grabs Luther, because Luther's panicking. He's going, we've got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
And Atom's going, sure we do. Come with me. Grabs him, shrinks down to subatomic level.
Yeah.
As they're doing it, it's made apparent that Amazo has actually picked them up in his hand as they're shrinking down and is looking at his hand, talking to Lex. He can see, and I remember watching and people going, he can't do that, he didn't come across anyone. 1, he's a robot. 2, he went out into space, he could have learned anything. 3, it's a goddamn cartoon, just roll with it. And 4, Superman. Continue, go forth. What are we up to? I haven't been counting.
I think like 4. Alright, super smell.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. It's fitting.
It makes sense.
It's fitting that Superman has a super sniffer. In fact, all of Superman's senses are heightened, but the others, like his sight and hearing, get more attention. However, Clark Kent's sense of smell is just as useful as his X-ray vision and super hearing.
When?
I don't know.
When,
Superman
where, and
has
how?
all the abilities of a bomb-sniffing dog and then some. He can identify the chemicals, substances in any object merely by taking a whiff. What other hero can say that? Sure, being able to push planets and freeze fires gets all the glory, but Kal-El's use of his nose to fight crime is nothing to sniff at. And unfortunately, over there to Mr. Expert, there is no example for this one. It's just mentioned.
Animal Man, Cheetah, not Cheetah, sorry, Vixen, and what was his name? Not Wakanda Beast.
I mean, it does make a kind of sense.
Beast. I think his name was Wannabeast. I can't remember.
It does make a kind of sense. I mean, he's got cool eyes and he's got very good hearing.
Yeah. It makes sense.
It makes sense that he'd have a good nose.
Yeah.
You just don't like it?
No, I think that's terrible.
You don't want anyone to suffer that?
If we go on that premise that he can see in space, subatomics in space, other planets, all that, he can hear people in the galaxy. The poor dude, not only, and he's got all these different visions. Can you imagine just looking out into space and just being a voyeur and being like, oh yeah, this planet's going great. You see an alien come out of the shower, he's spraying himself with deodorant, you see all those different smells, and you're like, oh god. And you're watching all this happening, and you're like, oh god. And then he farts or something, and you're like, oh god, I can see it and smell it. And obviously hear it. Like, how? Why? Why am I
cursed this way?
Yeah, at that point, I would go, Red Sun planet, where is it? I'm going to go live there. I'm done with this. I'm out. Superman's out. Peace.
Alright, this one you'll like. It's the super kiss.
I like this one. But only because of Robot Chicken. That's the only reason.
That's alright. I think I've got 2 to read you here. Superman's powers aren't always used for crime fighting. His abilities have been used in a variety of ways, especially when Lois Lane is involved. Clark has used X-ray vision to look at things he shouldn't have, and his power set extends to his personal life in other ways too. Multiple times in Superman's history, Clark's kiss has mind-wiped the receiving party. In Superman 2, Clark used this power to purposefully erase Lois Lane's memory, which is a morally dubious use of his power.
Mm-hmm.
Cal has also unintentionally wiped Lois's mind with a kiss. The super kiss is a power that may be gone, but it should never be completely forgotten.
Yeah.
Is it a power?
Well, how else is you?
I don't know, because in
if you just
Games
stuck
Radar, it says, where is it?
Whilst you look it up, if you just stuck with
it says in
telekinesis,
the final moments of 1980's Superman 2 movie, Clark Kent gives Lois a big wet one, and in the process manages to wipe out the confusing truth that Clark is also Superman. This apparently also comes from an actual comic book. Back in 1963's Action Comics issue 306, Clark uses his memory loss-inducing lip lock on Lois to cover up her discovery of his superheroic identity. That well-timed morsel of affection left Lois dazed and confused. So is it a power, or is it just sucking the air out of her lungs until her brain forgets things?
Damn. Yeah. Is he depriving her of oxygen so she blacks out? I mean, why would you
with
give
the
him...
power in his lungs, he'd be able to do that.
I imagine... Look, you and I have seen mole rats, and they're talking about Superman and Lois having sex, and the moment he ejaculates, it's like a shotgun going through a uterus. Like, Lois is dead. So you take that, if he is sucking the air out of her oxygen... if he is sucking the air out of her lungs when he kisses her, I imagine it's just like a chip packet. It's just crunched up instantly. Not her lungs, I'm talking about her. She's just... And she's gone. Like...
No, I'm sort of
so
thinking,
then
like,
that defeats the purpose of kissing her.
I'm thinking, is there a way that he could, like, just deprive her brain of oxygen for a few seconds to mess with her memory? Without killing her?
Yes. Yes. He could use his Arctic breath. Inhale, suckle the air out of her quickly without killing her. He could beat her if you condone that. Shout outs to Hank Pym.
Through a kiss.
Shout outs to Hank Pym on that one. Guy's still trying to live it down. And I mean, why would you introduce that power when you've already previously established he has telekinesis?
I know.
Why wouldn't you just go, wait a second, I can do that?
Is this the super kisser power in itself, or is this him just using something else? I mean, as you said, he could use the kiss to distract her while he telepathically got in there and just got rid of the memory. It might not be the kiss itself.
I mean, if you really want to step into that morally grey area, you could always just get someone who does have those powers to do it for you. And just get on the phone and be like, John, Martian Manhunter, John Jones, I need you over here. Yeah, no, she found out again. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I will learn. I know it's the third time this week, man. Just cut me some slack. Yeah, I'm going to go with it's a power. How it works? No idea. It's Kryptonian physiology.
I don't think it's a power. I think it's just... It doesn't make sense. It's a cover-up of something else. Alright. Super ventriloquism.
Okay.
The look on your face, you're just like, I've had enough of this now. If being a superhero doesn't work out, Superman could be a top-notch ventriloquist. Or maybe Clark Kent has a solid post-Daily Planet plan on his hands. In all seriousness, Superman used to have the power of super mimicry. Clark could perfectly reproduce any sound and or voice. Alternatively, Cal could manipulate how people heard the sound of his voice. He could make them believe it was coming from somewhere or even someone else. Ventriloquism pales in comparison to Superman's other abilities, but back in the day it had its uses. Superman's mimicry is one of those many powers that was retconned post-Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is why many fans don't know about it.
Yeah, it makes sense, but no, thank you.
I like the fact, just this,
You say ventriloquist, I instantly think of, the ventriloquist from Batman. I think of him.
I like this, this line on Games Radar. It says, ventriloquism, or the ability to throw your voice, may not require superpowers, but the distance for which Superman's shown himself able to do it makes it near impossible without them. So is it a power of itself, or is it him just using his other powers again?
Kryptonian physiology.
That's your answer for everything.
Yeah, because it's the MacGuffin. I don't have to explain it.
I mean, as we said, it might not be a superpower. It might just be something that he himself as a person has. But it's his superpowers that allow him to project it.
It's like that
That's
thumb
what
trick.
most people can't do.
It's like that sliding thumb trick, you know, where you pretend to take your thumb off your hand.
I can do that.
Yeah. Is that a superpower for him?
No.
I'm just saying, it could be. Like, if he can do ventriloquism, why can't that be a Superman trick?
All right, we're up to
Goes up with the patello and he's like, wait.
The last one from CBR. Universal translation.
Okay, go ahead.
Superman began as a farm boy from Smallville, but throughout the years, Clark Kent has transcended his role as an American hero. Kent now fights for justice, both internationally and universally. Many heroes are limited by the language barrier, but Superman has no such hindrance. He can learn, understand, and speak any language. This ability is often linked to his aforementioned genius-level intellect. Oddly enough, Superman's translation capabilities are an underused part of his power set. Though the Justice League ventures increasingly into space, Clark is rarely shown speaking native alien language. As a result, despite the usefulness of universal translations, many fans don't realize that Superman possesses it.
Okay. I agree with some of that, actually.
Make sense?
It makes sense to me. but I don't agree with it being part of his genius level talents. I would go it's part of his genius level learning. Like Cyan Man. Superman, at one of his core characteristics is he is a scientist.
Yes.
Okay, you look at the Fortress of Solitude. It is a museum to science, to Kryptonian science, to alien science, whatever you want to word it as. Like, he has his own zoo in there of
he does.
Creature. Yeah, he has
The
creatures.
only one I've ever seen is the Smallville one.
Okay, well, this is after he's been Superman for a while and he set it up.
That's Smallville's fault for not going into that.
Hey, they went into it in season 11. I don't know if the zoo actually appeared in season 11, but season 11 was comics.
No, you said as he became Superman. I'd like to point out that Smallville ended the second he became Superman with the costume and everything. Mm-hmm. That's what I meant.
Yeah, so understanding and being able to speak different languages, I would have chalked that up to just being a good scholar, being a good scientist, because he can speak English, he can speak the languages around the world. Yeah. Okay. And he can speak Kryptonian, so it would make sense that he could.
He's just adaptable that way.
Yeah, through Kal-X or through, Jor-El or through the crystals, the Fortress of Solitude. It's robots he's made for this Fortress of Solitude. Okay. Through Brainiac, Brainiac means in one way, shape or form. It makes sense to me that he's been able to pick up alien languages. Yeah. I wouldn't have said that's a superpower, though. Okay. It's a super talent. It's cool that he can speak and understand all those different languages. But I would have just put that up to, being able to speed read, being able to do things quickly. I mean, the dude doesn't even need to sleep. The only reason he does sleep is so that he doesn't go insane. It's so it gives his mind time to shut down, and he needs like half an hour at most.
Oh, the possibilities.
I know, man. I wish I'd get so much done. Meaning I'd sit around and play more video games, but still.
Alright. So that is actually the end of the list from CBR. But there were a few extras on the games radar one that I thought I'd just run past you.
Okay.
Self-duplication.
No.
This is from... This apparently is from the Superman Red, Superman Blue days that you were talking about earlier. Alright. What's better than one Superman? Two Supermans. Superman? Question mark.
We've got about 4, 5, 6
It might seem like a strange
around.
notion, but it's something that's happened several times in Superman lore. The storied Superman Red, Superman Blue days of the 1990s DC's comics come to mind, but that was due to outside forces. Decades before that, the Man of Steel did it on his own without any explanation before or since. Very early on in the life of Superman, in a 1938 episode of the live-action series Adventures of Superman...
With the drunk guy, yeah.
Lois and a crusty old prospector are trapped in a Pennsylvania mine shaft. Thankfully, Superman comes in to save the day, but in order to save the duo, he must become a duo himself. Out of nowhere, Superman splits himself into 2 identical Supermans in order to save the distressed humans. And apparently that's not counting the recent New 52 Rebirth Superman hijinks.
No.
No?
No, I'm assuming it was, oh no, I don't have time to get both of you out.
It says that this happened a lot back in decades before that. It says it's happened several times in Superman lore. It says it's mentioned once due to outside forces, and then it's mentioned once in a 1938 episode. If it's happened a lot in Superman lore, they couldn't find any other examples.
I told you, we haven't done these lists for a while, and that's because I demand that the writers do their homework.
You don't like this ability? You don't think it's...
No.
It's something that could happen?
No, because, alright, let's go back again earlier to one of the...
Couldn't you just move really fast so that you saw 2 of them, like the Flash does?
Yeah. What was that called? I want to say time illusion, that's not right.
But couldn't he do that? I mean, he's almost as fast as the Flash.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Go back a couple of points. We were just told he's only just shy of being as fast as the Flash. No. Okay? No. But yes, he is super fast. So he could do those things. Let's look at Zack Snyder's,
but
Joss Whedon's.
Going back to Flash lore, he can also time travel. So couldn't he make like a remnant?
Time remnant. That's it. No, Superman can't.
Okay.
See, the
He
Flash
could still do the illusion, though.
He could.
The flickering in and out.
He could. I wouldn't be surprised if he could do that.
Okay.
The time remnants and all that are part of time travel powers.
Yes. And his time
Superman
travel
doesn't
powers
have that.
go so far as just spinning the Earth backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I had another thing. I can't remember.
You were about to say something about
Justice League.
Justice League. It's
All right.
from Snyder.
Probably everyone's one of the top scenes in both iterations.
Yeah.
I don't care which one you liked more. It happened in both iterations.
Yeah.
Where Superman's being brought back, Justice League is taking him on, and the Flash is like, cool, time to get in there. He takes off, he goes in there, and he's watching Superman, and you see Superman slowly turning his head to look at him.
Oh, just after he's brought back and he's confused.
Yeah, and then he goes swinging. He goes to try to punch the Flash. All right? And it shows the Flash is able to dodge him. But, you know what I mean? If Superman's that fast, he can do that at the least. The dude's fine. He could have saved the old prospector. He could have saved him and saved Lois. And, oh, thank you, Superman. Here's my gold nuggets.
Alright, so this one's mentioned on Games Radar, but I'm getting the impression that this is just something that happened once in a movie, but was so bizarre.
Shield.
But was so bizarre that it ended up on this list. Trapping people in his S symbol.
Yep, the cellophane shield.
It's hard to say something negative about the 1980 classic Superman 2, but if there's one thing that must be said, it's this. What's up with the scene where Superman throws his S symbol from his emblem to form some sort of plastic wrap trap over his enemies? No one before or since has come up with a logical explanation for that never-before-seen power, and it was unsurprisingly never used again in movies, television, or comics.
No. There's a Family Guy bit, I think it's early Family Guy as well, where they do that. And he's like, what was that? And Superman's like, yeah, how do you like that? And he's like, that's really annoying. What the hell was that? He's like, yeah, think about what you've done. Something like that. It's just, yeah, that as soon as you said that was weird. It made no sense. Look, if he wore a suit of armor,
yeah,
and he did that, you go, cool. It's ammunition of some kind, or it's an ability of the suit. Whatever.
Hey, look, if Iron Man did that, we'd all just go, okay, sure.
Yeah, that's his
it's
Unibeam.
It's nanotech.
It's a Unibeam. His chest beam. Don't talk about Iron Man. It's too soon.
All right, this is the last heretofore unknown ability, and I thought this one makes sense, but I feel sorry for the guy, so I'm mentioning it. The Superman diet.
Wait, what?
It seems modern culture is inundated with, don't read it, with one fad diet after another, but one diet that won't catch on, hopefully, is the Superman diet. In various instances, both in comics and film, Superman has said that his body doesn't need food or drink like humans do. Instead, his body receives all the energy he needs from the light of the sun.
Mm-hmm.
On occasion, he has been shown to eat things, including a mountain of hamburgers, in Action Comics issue 454. Superman's excuse is that although his body doesn't need it, he sometimes mentally wants to, perhaps a vestigial function of his Kryptonian physiology, since they don't normally live in sight of a yellow sun. This was followed up in an episode 36 of Superman, the animated series.
Oh, it is episode.
Where he states that he eats out of habit. One can only imagine how good Mark Kent's cooking was to start that habit.
That's how I've always seen Superman.
You think he eats out of habit? You realise he doesn't need it.
He was brought up as a human, so it's dinner time, Clark. I don't need to eat. It's dinner time, Clark. You will sit down and you will eat with us. Like, he does it because food tastes good. He does it because it's a human activity that he partakes in, he enjoys. I mean, I can recall comics, or I think I can recall
there's
comics.
actually a picture on this one of him eating all this mountain of hamburgers, apparently, from this Action Comics
good on
issue.
him. I wouldn't have thought that. But, you know, like, I imagine, as I said, for some reason I've got in my head him preparing breakfast for Lois and John. Because, you know, Sunday family morning tradition type thing.
Yeah.
I can see him doing all that stuff. I've seen him drinking coffee when he's Clark Kent.
But I suppose it also works because
I've seen him drinking wine when he's out to dinner.
Can't get drunk though.
No.
it makes sense also in a way that if he's running around and, you know, as we all do when you're running from one thing to another and you don't have time to eat, for him, it doesn't stop him.
No.
Unlike people like Flash, for example, or even Batman, who doesn't have any powers, who'd have to be like, well, I need rest, I need sustenance.
Money. He does alright, he's got some money.
Yeah, but he needs rest and sustenance to get, you know, after a hard battle, he can't just go back out.
According to Alfred, he does need rest and sustenance. Take Alfred out of the equation.
Flash definitely does. Flash can't keep going non-stop. He has to eat.
His metabolism burns through
Superman,
everything too quick.
Unfortunately, have you look at it. Well, yeah, fortunately not hindered by that, but unfortunately it means that if he hadn't picked up the habit, you think that would be kind of sad. Especially if his body actually couldn't tolerate the food. You think he's lucky his body can.
I think this falls into the whole sleeping discussion. He doesn't need to sleep until he needs to sleep. But he doesn't need to sleep as long as we do because of his physiology. Eating and drinking, mostly habit.
Yeah.
Something he enjoys. I also think it's something that he needs from time to time. He needs a form of hydration. He needs food.
That's what it says here. He mentally wants to do it.
I don't even think it's mentally. I think it's his body needs it. There's a episode in Justice League Unlimited. Sorry, not Justice League Unlimited. Justice League. So I think it's the second season, where Superman is thrown forward into the future.
Yeah.
Okay, and he gets there, and the planet is a wasteland. No one is alive.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's got no powers. Yellow Sun's, I can't remember what it is. He's got no powers.
Okay.
So he has to walk the earth trying to find anything, anyone, and he has to hunt, he has to kill, he has to drink what he can to keep going. And I'm not going to spoil the rest of the episode, but he ends up going back. Everything's fine. It's okay, kids. It's Superman. Everything's okay. But when he was in that wasteland, it showed that he was eating. It showed that he was drinking.
Well, I suppose, that does make sense here, because as it says, Kryptonians didn't live like he did. They did eat and drink and sleep. It's only that he doesn't need to because he has the yellow sun, which they didn't.
There it is.
So, yeah, as I said, so it's not that he's fortunate he can. His body was made to work that way. Mm-hmm. But since he's landed on Earth, his body's found another way to work, which... Oh, did they know that was going to happen when they sent him there?
Earth? In some iterations...
In some iterations, I think they did, because there were some where Jor-El wanted him to be a god among men, didn't he?
Yeah, like Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, I think that's sort of the case. Jor-El sent him there because he could lead them to greatness. That scene where he's learning to fly.
Yeah.
You hear Russell Crowe saying those things. In other ones, it's because the planet was very similar to... in atmosphere and stuff to Krypton, so it was okay for him to go there. In others, it was just, it's suitable, go. Like, we don't have the time for this. In others, he's done the research and he's like, yeah, this is going to be the best. You're going to go there and have a great life, have a great time. Oh, by the way, we're sending your cousin. Can't see that going wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Because it, like, in a way, it makes sense for them to have known that was going to happen to him when they sent him, like that. I don't know, and just in how smart and everything they were and how technology advanced, it makes sense for them to have known that. But on the flip side, it also makes kind of sense for them not to have known that. Mm-hmm. But that also makes it a bit, you think, I mean, even though he was a kid when he landed, you still think he was an adult, poor him, he wasn't meant to live this way, and yet he's found out that he can, and he's made the best out of it, but it's just like, oh.
Yeah, there's that scene in Man of Steel where he's in the closet because his powers have gone crazy, and you got Martha on the other side of the door, and she's like, just focus on my voice, like, make the world small. Yeah, I imagine it would have been very hard, but you've got like the most amazing parents in the world in Ma and Pa Kent, who brought him up as a human whilst teaching him how to use these powers that they've got no idea how they work. And making him a completely normal, like obscenely normal, unsuspecting person, and then be able to be Superman at the same time. I mean, I love the fact that
I suppose it's...
his moral compass comes from them, and that he would often go back to them for guidance and reassurance and to talk things out. I like that humanity, that human side of Superman, where he would seek out people to talk to. Like, you got Bats. Sorry, you got Bats.
We know who Bats
I was going to say
is.
Bruce Wayne, but no, it's Bats, Alfred, Dick Grayson, Diana, his parents, Lois. Like, I like him having those human interactions with them.
I suppose if you think about it, that's how he balances. I mean, if he lived on Krypton, he would have grown up as a human, sort of saying it. He's come down here, and he could have just been this otherworldly creature that, you know, lives up in the sky and just reigns terror or whatever. But he's found a way to be both. He allows what the Yellow Sun gives him, but he also allows himself to have those normal experiences: sleep, eat, people, family, job, all that sort of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's probably not what the parents expected of him, but he's made it work, which is good.
Yeah, I know Bendis recently has done this thing where Superman has outed himself. He's gone up in front of the world and said, "My name's Superman. I'm also Kal-El. Hey, guess what? I'm also Clark Kent. I've lived among you guys for ages." Everyone's watching. People who know him, who work with him, are like, "Oh my god, it is him." And he's like, "I'm just letting you know, effective now, I'm Superman all the time."
I'm just going to take these glasses off.
No, he was Superman the whole time up on the podium. And it made sense. Like, like...
What are they going to do?
He doesn't need to be Clark Kent. But I like that element. I like that side of him.
I mean, I suppose from Batman's point of view, it could be that he has to be Clark Kent to protect his people. But I mean, at the same time, yes, it grounds him. It gives him, I'm not, Superman right now. I'm just a normal guy with my family. We're going to sit down and we're going to eat dinner, even though I don't have to eat it.
Yeah.
So at the core, you like Superman.
I do like
but
Superman.
But you don't like his toolbox of abilities.
I'm very particular about...
I like this backstory and this attitude and this set of powers and this costume and nothing more.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to create a backstory, why not make it why not make it an adventure? Whatever it is Joker says in The Killing Joke. Make it multiple choice. If you're going to have a backstory, why not make it multiple choice?
Oh, dear.
One thing that sticks out to me was Superman. It's one of my favourite moments ever. The last episode of Justice League Unlimited.
Okay.
Darkseid's there. Darkseid's merged with Brainiac, so it's Superman's two biggest concerns outside of Luthor merged together. And in that animated universe, Superman hates Darkseid. And ignoring the Batman part where he dodges the Omega Beam, and it's just awesome. Darkseid says something like, "Oh, that impressive. No one's ever been able to do that." And Superman walks up to him and he's like, "That man will never quit while he's got a breath in his body. He's the bravest man I know." Something like that. And then starts attacking Darkseid, and he launches him out of the building. I think it's the Daily Planet as well. Launches him out of the Daily Planet and says, he starts like talking to Darkseid, going, "You know what? All my life I felt like I live in a world that's filled with cardboard, always having to be careful not to break something, not to go too far. But you're a big guy, and I don't have to pull my punches with you, do I?" And then bang, just blaze into him again, and he's just like knocking him halfway across the city every punch. It is really good. As I said earlier, I love that series.
All right, we're going to finish on an interesting note. In doing all of my Superman research, the main thing that pops up
more than these two?
The main thing that pops up when you're looking for something to talk about Superman is who can beat him.
Oh, God.
And for someone who is such a high-powered person, there are actually a lot of people out there who can beat him. But I stumbled across one that I think Shenanigans is really going to enjoy. So, I'm reading from...
I'm going to make a prediction.
No prediction.
No. I'm going to make one
because
prediction.
You'll probably guess it, and in which case I'm going to hit you. I don't care if we're on film.
We're not on film. We're recording.
Fine,
what the hell?
What's your prediction?
All right.
You take the wind out of my sails, and I'm not finishing this.
Well, then I can't, because I was going to say I will mime it to you.
Oh, fine, mime it to me.
No, because then they won't know if I'm right or not.
I'll tell them. Mime it to me.
No, because then I'll take the wind out of your sails. So I can't. All right, I will tell you if it comes up.
Okay. I'm reading from Screen Rant.
I've got one locked in.
10 other superheroes who could beat Superman. Now, at the bottom of this article, there are 2 honourable mentions.
Okay.
Goku.
Yep, that was it. As soon as you said 10 people that can beat Superman, I'm like, yeah,
No,
right.
this isn't one of the 10. This is one of the 2 extras
Okay,
on
so
this article.
are the 10 just pertaining to
I think so, yeah.
DC Comics?
We've got Spectre, Odin, Jean Grey, Silver Surfer,
Okay, so they're going from
Shazam,
comics in general.
Martian Manhunter, Sentry, and the Green Lanterns. Doctor Strange and Wonder Woman. Those are the main 10 in this article. But I found, as I said, this was the main topic that came up when I googled anything about Superman and Superman comic book and history and whatever. And there were a lot that came up that, yes, were reasonable. But I stumbled across this one. I never even mentioned Goku, and I was just like, oh my god, Jenna would love that. Can I read it?
I like the idea of it. I don't ever want to know who would
Marvel
win.
and DC. How would Superman fare against the principal hero of Dragon Ball Z?
I thought you were going to say Principal Saiyans.
Just like Superman, Goku is one of the last of his kind who finds a home on Earth and is forever saving it from the evils of the universe. The similarities between the two are striking, save for the important fact that unlike the last son of Krypton, Goku loves to fight.
Mm-hmm.
As in is pretty much all he does aside from eating. Which brings us to this fantasy matchup. For those of you who don't know or care, Superman vs. Goku is a civilized debate that has taken place online over the past decade or so. Wizard magazine gave the edge to Goku. Screw Attack has declared Superman the winner not once but twice. Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, seriously. Silver Age, Post-Crisis, The New 52 Rebirth. To say the least, there are a lot of iterations, scenarios, and hair colours to wade through and get confused by, so finding a definitive conclusion most likely ends in circles. Especially when we start debating whether Superman has limits or whether Goku has the ability to limitlessly improve. At the end of the day, Goku could beat Superman, and Superman could beat Goku, which is a bit of a cop-out as far as this debate goes, but there it is. Of course, if all that's unsatisfactorily, perhaps you'll settle for an epic rap battle.
There's 2 answers. And it's not Superman and it's not Goku.
Yes.
The 2 answers are this. Neither of them win, and it leaves it open.
Yeah.
Or they stop fighting because they've got a common threat that they have to stop.
Well, there you go. I'll show you this. This honourable mention has an image inspiration.
Yeah. That's, yeah. If anyone's ever been on the internet...
the person behind this image has specifically said they're not fighting, no one's coming out on top, they're just sparring. I only mentioned it because I thought it was really funny that I just happened to be researching Superman and Dragon Ball, of all things, comes up.
Oh, yeah. You got a personality clash. You got Superman who's doesn't want to necessarily fight, but will if he has to, in order to protect. And then you got Goku who just wants to punch people in the schnoz.
I can very much imagine if there was a crossover Goku coming up and going, man, can we spar? And Superman being like, no. Why would you want to?
Superman would just go, what the hell's a spar? What the hell's a spar? I just throw punches and just hope for the best. And Batman's in the background going, I told you should have trained. I told you I could have taught you.
I was about to say that. If you could have the brains of Batman fuse with the ability and the might of Superman, pin that against Goku.
Do yourselves a favour. You want that story? You'll never get it. But go to YouTube. Type in Max Landis, Death and Return of Superman. I think, Death of Superman. Just put Max Landis, Death of Superman. It goes for like 50 minutes. I'm sorry. But it will go so quick and it's so good. And he is such a good storyteller. And why they never let that story happen, baffles me. It is amazing. But in that story, Batman actively goes out and seeks Superman. And he's like, you're going to learn how to fight.
Oh, right? God.
You are our best protection against everything.
Fight for shit.
I'm going to teach you to be tactical. So no more throwing your fists around going, guys, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to teach you to be zen. I'm going to teach you how to counter. I'm going to teach you how to block. I'm going to teach you how to land a critical blow so they won't get back up. I'm going to teach you to disarm a bomb without ever touching it.
Just blow it up.
No, he just looks at it and just goes, that wire. Cuts it with his heat vision.
Oh.
Alright, what was the other honourable mention, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Saitama?
Saitama. Yeah. Okay, One Punch Man. Alright.
Web comic and manga series. Alright.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into that. Alright, everybody. Have you enjoyed our conversation today, Shenanigans?
I did. It could have gone for a lot longer.
I taught you anything?
Yeah, you reminded me why we stopped doing these lists. God damn it. Seriously.
Alright, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today.
For another lengthy Shananarambles, I think. Lengthy? How long do we go for? We're going for a while.
That's in the title. We're going to ramble. They assume it's going to be lengthy.
I hope, guys, if you're coming here to hear us ramble, well done. You're getting it.
Yay, thank you very much
If you're
for
coming
sticking
here
around.
for a concise, quick little slice of life,
Nah.
no, I talk a lot, and I talk with my hands. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've both been doing that. We're both sitting here gesturing. Yes, but thank
Is
you
that
very
what you're doing?
Gesturing? Yes.
Oh.
Thank you very much for joining us. This episode was inspired by the release of Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois.
We have only seen the beginning. We're waiting for it to finish so that we can race. I'm waiting for it to finish so we can race through it. I'm interested. Pickles over there doesn't care.
Pickles?
Pickles.
What the hell, man?
It's the first word that came to my head.
Cut
alright?
deep. I don't know
Pretty,
why.
Pretty boy over there isn't all that
Pretty
fussed,
boy.
But I'm curious. I want to see it. I like this whole, and I mean, I know you do too because you're reading like the Superman, the Super Sons comic books and stuff. I know you're curious about seeing, the legacy of Superman, and Superman and Lois does have that. It might not be from the comic books.
Yeah.
It's different because there's two kids, but I'm interested to watch it, and that's what inspired today's episode.
Wonder
Here
if Lex
for
shows up.
I don't know. For Shananarambles. All
Your
right,
name
everybody.
is... Oh, wait.
What?
Nothing.
Thank you
Look,
for joining
the
us
audience
on
has already figured it out.
Shananarambles. Okay.
It's on the thumbnail.
We are Shananarambles on for podcasts. If
You're welcome.
you wish to hear us ramble while we play games, we also are on YouTube at Shananigans Gaming. You can check that out as well. But thank you very much for joining, everybody. Please join us again. Can I say what I normally say for YouTube on this? I don't think I can.
Have a good one.
I was going to say please like, comment, share, and subscribe, but I don't think that works. Please
Whatever.
have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.